All right, so I'm here at the 2026 EV Charging Summit in Las Vegas with Mike Doucleff, the president of Alpitronic Americas. Mike, thanks for joining me.
Nice to see you, Tom.
Nice to see you again. This isn't the first time that we've had a conversation. You're currently kind of the soup du jour of electric vehicle DC fast chargers, Mike. It seems like every time a network announces that it's going to be using new equipment, it's Alpitronic. And particularly it's been the HYC1000.
That's the flagship.
Yeah, that's your flagship model. But now we have the HYC1000. The HYC400 is a 400 kilowatt charger. Yep. And now you have the HYC1000. Tell us a little bit about this unit here and what it's going to do for the industry. Today's video is sponsored by EVChargingStations.com. If you drive an electric vehicle or you're planning to, this site is packed with comprehensive charger reviews, detailed DC fast charging graphs, and the latest news from all of the fast charging networks. You'll find real-world testing, easy to understand comparison, and deep dives into how different electric vehicles actually charge. Before you buy an EV charger or plan your next road trip, make sure to bookmark EVChargingStations.com and make smarter charging decisions.
Yeah, sure. So as you likely said, the HYC400, the flagship, that's really what we call the all-in-one, right? So that means the power electronics is all in the same cabinet as the dispenser itself. Now, when we moved to the HYC1000, we actually split out the power electronics. So we removed them from the dispenser itself and we put them back of house into a cabinet. The power cabinet for the HYC1000 is roughly the size of two HYC400s put together, okay, just for a frame of reference. And so here, this is let's say, quote unquote, just a dispenser. And that's dispensing a lot of power though. That's 2 times 600 amps port. So that's actually a 2-port dispenser in one piece. You can connect up to 8 ports to one power cabinet. So that's 1 megawatt of power can serve up to 8 ports. So it's not replacing the HYC400, it's complementing. So it's not or, it's and. There's some use cases for the all-in-one, and of course other use cases for the distributed architecture. Absolutely, depending on the site, depending on the amount of space you have, and power needs. You know, it might even be that some sites might elect to have one of these and 4 of these, you know, so depending on what that site needs are. Now this will deliver 600 amps simultaneously to both ports. That's correct. And let's talk about the connectors. I see you have a NACS and a CCS1 connector on here. Correct. Can the customer decide, can you have 2 NACS, 2 CCS, whatever they want? Absolutely, it's really a no-regret investment, and we know this transition from CCS to NACS, nobody really knows how fast it's going to go, so we've got a design that allows for customers, if you want to start with 2 CCS1s, and then in 6 months change 1 CCS1 to a NACS, we can do that. You can swap everything can be done in the field. You can go to 2 NACS in the field, you can change back and forth, so that's really an easy cable swap for us to do in the field. Right. How about cable length? I noticed one of the things I really liked about your HYC400s was the cable management system. It's a very robust overhead cable management system. You don't really have the problems I've seen with some of the older DC fast chargers where the cables snap all the time. It's not really like a robust overhead system. Is this cable as long as the ones on the, can it reach as far as the cable management on the HYC400s? Yeah, it can. I mean, the most common cable length we have is 5 meters with cable management system. So it's got exactly the same reach as the 400. But I think what's different about the 1000, is, as you can see, is the cable management is actually integrated into the dispenser, whereas on the 400, it's actually an accessory. So when we ship it, the cable management is not installed on top. So a little bit more of a design feature here on the 1000, but same cable length, 5 meters. Are these ready to go? So we will have pilots launching this year with our customers, and then the first production units available next year. Next year, okay. And I know you can't talk about particular CPOs that may be utilizing this, but are any of the big name CPOs that we may have heard of already committed to using these? Well, you know, most of our customers are very, very into the details of testing and getting things right before they deploy. So I would say we have a lot of interest in the market, but I think a lot of our customers are also going to take the opportunity of our pilot projects this year to learn, because it's a new architecture for Alpitronic. In many cases, it's a new architecture for our customers as well, the ones that are buying the all-in-one. So I would say you're going to see a mix of our existing customers, probably some maybe moving fully to the distributed architecture, some going with a mix, but yeah, you can say that all of our customers are interested, and we'll be launching pilots with the majority of them later this year.
Okay, and you know, just to touch on costs a little bit, so I'm not going to ask you how much it costs, but if somebody is considering using a bank of HYC 400s versus a bank of these, is it 20% more? Is it 40% more? Is it like a ballpark? I'm not holding you to a number. I think people are curious how much extra did have to pay for this higher level of power.
Look, very simply, at 5 ports, it becomes CapEx optimized to go to the distributed architecture.
Okay. That's
easy as
like
that. Easy as that.
Then I think that means we're going to see these out there. Because,
I hope so.
Because
I think so,
you know, most of the stations now have 5 ports, or more, or double that. You know, so yeah, that sounds great. One last thing I want to touch on.
Sure.
So I noticed you have with your HYC400 here, it's the unit with the screen on the side. And I noticed that you guys announced that you were going to be coming out with one with a screen on the front. Could you talk a little bit about that, like why it launched with the screen on the side? What was the customer pushback, or what was the reason why you relocated it to on the front?
You know, that is the single biggest piece of feedback we get from our customers, which is, can you please move the screen to the front out of anything? So we've taken the first step here now. So on the 1000, the screen is on the front. It's also a touch screen here. Now, our customers really like our buttons, so they asked us to keep the buttons. So we have both a mix of physical buttons and a touch screen. And yes, you did see the post, so we're launching already now this year in Europe, the version with the screen on the front. So you'll start to see more and more of those in the field in Europe. And then coming to the US shortly after. We always typically start our products in Europe and bring them to the US. So we're typically a little bit of a delay behind the European launch.
Right, and why do you think that was a pain point with customers? Because I never really had a problem with it. Do you think it is because you have to control which port it is? When you're standing on the side, you lose your sense of like, okay, am I on A or B? I mean, it didn't seem like something that would be an issue, but it was. I noticed comments on my videos I did on the Iona stations that use your units. People like, why isn't the screen on the front? And I was kind of like, well, why do you want it on the front? But what were people saying? What were the reasons why they wanted it on the front?
You know, it's interesting. We've had some examples where drivers will pull up to a site, an Alpitronic site of one of our customers, and this is one of our customers that told the story to me. And if they come in from the right side, they may not even ever see the screen. They might not even ever know that there is a screen. Let's say they're charging with plug and charge. They pull in, they just grab the cable, plug it in and charge. They have received feedback like, oh, there's a screen? I didn't know. Oh, I can pay with a credit card? I didn't know. So yeah, that's why we took all the feedback into account.
Was that just Americans? Did the Europeans say that too?
Those were American customers, yes. But I think also we're kind of getting into that next phase of drivers. It's not the early adopters, the evangelists. It's now the everyday who don't know what's a volt, an amp, a kilowatt. Should I touch the screen or not? How does it work? So I think that new generation of drivers coming also needs to have it much more easier and intuitive, and any way we can do to help that, we're going to do it, which is why we're moving it to the front. So. All right, listen, Mike, thanks again. This is wonderful. We're here at the 2026 EV Charging Summit in Las Vegas, Nevada. If this is your first time here at State of Charge, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming electric vehicle news and reviews. And as always, thanks for watching.